हेलो सैसी नारी। लास्ट एपिसोड का इतना अमेजिंग फीडबैक मिलने के बाद आई एम रियली पम्प्ड। थैंक यू सो मच। और अच्छा लगा ही है तो सब्सक्राइब टू अस। एप्पल पॉडकास्ट पे रेट एंड रिव्यू भी कर देना। सोशल मीडिया पे शाउट आउट्स के लिए थैंक यू एंड प्लीज कीप देम कमिंग। नाउ दिस एपिसोड इज पार्ट 2 ऑफ आवर लास्ट एपिसोड अबाउट स्किन केयर। आज डॉक्टर अंकिता बताएंगी अंडर आई केयर के बारे में, नेक सैगिंग के बारे में, पिगमेंटेशन के बारे में। शी विल ऑल्सो टेल कि व्हाई शुगर इज बैड फॉर आवर स्किन। DIYs के बारे में बताएंगी। शी विल सजेस्ट राइट एक्टिव्स फॉर ऑल स्किन टाइप्स एंड सम मच नीडेड प्रोडक्ट रिकमेंडेशंस। राइट अमाउंट, राइट प्रोडक्ट्स। तो फटाफट शुरू करते हैं। Hey there, welcome to Little Fixes, a podcast for the sassy, classy and a little choosy भारतीय नारी। This is Macleod। मैं और मेरे गेस्ट शेयर करते हैं सिंपल प्रैक्टिकल आइडियाज जो आप इजीली फॉलो कर सकते हैं to get closer to the kind of life you want to live. We talk about career, self-care, social media tips, parenting, relationships and so much more to help you thrive. All of this is mixed with a lot of laughter. So my lovely friend, continue what you're doing and join me in this real talk. अंडर आइज का मैंने बहुत सुना है। कुछ लोग कहते हैं कि इट डजेंट मैटर कि अगर आप कोई स्पेशल अंडर आई क्रीम यूज कर रहे हो, यू कैन मे बी। कोई कहता है कि यू डोंट नीड एनीथिंग। कोई कहता है कि जो आपकी रेगुलर क्रीम है यू कैन अप्लाई इट अंडर आइज ऑल्सो, यू डोंट नीड एनी स्पेशल क्रीम। व्हाट आर योर थॉट्स ऑन दिस? फाइन लाइन्स अंडर आइज।
Fine lines under eyes. So, Maitri, one thing is we Indian women are very prone to dark circles because, हम, 80% of Indian women are vitamin D deficient.
ओके।
So, for under eye skin में क्या होता है ना, जो हमारा सॉकेट होता है आई का, basically the bone, our skull bone, धीरे धीरे with age, जैसे जैसे vitamin D कम होता जाता है, वैसे वैसे वो hollowness बढ़ती जाती है. Now when that hollowness increases, तो उसके ऊपर की जो skin है ना, it is bound to get into wrinkles. It is bound to. A lot of patients जिनको जो कहते हैं कि मुझे under eye dark circles हैं, actually उनको dark circles नहीं होते, उनको hollowness होती है. So if you take care of your vitamin D levels, you can actually prevent a lot of under eye aging.
Wow.
One thing is that.
Okay.
And this is the reason आपने देखा होगा most of the celebrities they never step out without sunglasses. Because sun is the biggest damage to your under eye skin. Our under eye skin is 3 times thinner than our facial skin. तो आप सोच सकते हो वो कितना delicate area है. So अगर आपका nutrition poor है and ऊपर से आप if you are stepping out in sun frequently, even if you are applying a sunscreen, your under eye skin is something that needs coverage. So whether you cover your face up or you actually wear sunglasses, whatever it is, but that is the skin that needs to be protected a lot.
Acha.
And I think the best thing you can do for reducing fine lines under eye is, ditch your phone and laptop screens after 7 p.m. at night. I know. I'm sounding blasphemous. What is this? I can't do that. But I recently wrote an article on under eye care for device addicts.
Achha.
So it's there on Google. It is on one of the e-commerce websites. You can Google it. When I was researching for it, I came to know कि जो screens की, especially mobile screens की जो blue light होती है ना, that causes more damage than sunlight. So I tell a lot of people that if you're working round the clock, like आजकल सब लोग बहुत work from home कर रहे हैं, so I tell them that if you're working on your laptop or if you're looking at your mobile screen, post sunset, apply a sunscreen. If not on your whole face, at least apply it on your under eye areas, because that blue light it really makes the matters worse. And as for the eye cream, I think there are two or three actives like caffeine, vitamin C, and low doses of retinol. If your eye cream has one of these, that eye cream will probably take care of the rough texture and the very fine lines. But once the lines have set in, उसके बाद you need either fillers or skin tightening.
अच्छा, मतलब ज़्यादा उसको नहीं चेंज कर सकते।
उसको ज़्यादा हम क्रीम से नहीं चेंज कर सकते, या उसको हम late 20s, early 30s में ये रेटिनॉल, विटामिन सी, कैफीन बेस्ड सीरम्स यूज करके या आई क्रीम्स यूज करके थोड़ा सा मैनेज कर सकते हैं. बट
Okay.
इफ यू फील कि वो जो 4,000 रुपीज फॉर 10 ग्राम वाली आई क्रीम है that is going to give you bright eyes, it's not going to give you. I would suggest don't waste time on that.
Okay.
In fact, I know 2 or 3 creams, like I never use these high end eye creams. I use an under eye cream from Rock which has low dose of retinol. It's also featured on my feed. And then there is Averta under eye cream which is like for $600 and it lasts like 2 months. And it has peptides and haloxyl. It really works very nicely. So don't spend more than that on eye creams.
अच्छा.
In fact, if you really want to spend on eye creams na, so rather than spending 12 or 15,000 an year on the eye creams, go to a dermat, get a under eye filler done. Under eye filler is वो उतना ही budget बनेगा, somewhere around 12 to 15,000, and it will give you a 50 to 60% improvement in your under eyes.
तो
So
it
that
is
is the money well
forever.
spent, you know.
जो fillers हैं वो
It
उनका
is
भी
for
कुछ limit?
it is for 2 to 3 years.
Okay.
And even after 2 to 3 years, when you need a touch up, it's not as bad as it was earlier.
Okay. Got it.
There is
got
some
it.
improvement that stays with time. So
Okay.
it's anyhow better than slathering those 4,000 5,000 creams on your under eyes. I think that's not a smart investment.
ओके गॉट इट. अब अंडर आइज से आते हैं नेक पे. नेक के ऊपर भी क्वेश्चंस आए थे कि नेक सैग होने लगती है आफ्टर एन एज. मतलब मैंने नहीं देखा यार बहुत लोगों को नेक सैगिंग के साथ, बट इसमें क्वेश्चन था तो आई वुड रियली लाइक टू डिस्कस इट.
बिकॉज ना नेक सैगिंग स्टार्ट होती है 40s के बाद.
ओके.
बट वो सडनली हो जाती है फिर.
अच्छा.
It's like, you see somebody at 40, you wouldn't see much of sagging. You see them at 45 and there's a huge amount of sagging.
अच्छा.
So basically ना one thing which we can do is जो भी हम facial anti-aging skincare अपनी 30s में शुरू करते हैं ना, most of the anti-aging regimens are costly. So to cut down the cost, what most of people do is they apply it on face, they do not apply on neck and decolletage. So आपका जो upper chest है और neck है ना, वो भी आपके face का part है.
अच्छा.
So whatever anti-aging you're using on face, make sure you extend it to your neck and upper chest also. क्योंकि sunlight तो आने ही वाली है ना आपके neck पे भी. And another thing that's happening with the neck is आजकल तो बहुत ही ज्यादा हो गया है. Do you realize हम लोग सारा दिन नीचे झुक के फोन पे देखते रहते हैं. है ना. उससे क्या होता है ना, जो हमारी फ्रंट नेक मसल्स होती हैं वो सारा दिन कॉन्ट्रैक्टेड रहती हैं. कॉन्ट्रैक्टेड रहती हैं तो उनमें परमानेंट बैंड्स बन जाते हैं. सो धीरे धीरे बिकॉज ऑफ ओवर एक्टिविटी एंड कॉन्ट्रैक्शन वो दे फॉर्म बैंड्स एंड दे स्टार्ट शोइंग रिंकलिंग एंड सैगिंग. एंड इंडियन स्किन की प्रॉब्लम ही है. वी आर लेस प्रोन टू रिंकल्स, वी आर मोर प्रोन टू सैगिंग. आप नोटिस करना वुमेन इन देयर 50s, आपको उनके फेस पे रिंकल्स कम दिखेंगे, बट यू वुड सी कि उनका लोअर फेस हैवी हो गया है, उनकी नेक सैग कर रही है, फेस सैग कर रहा है, जैसे सब कुछ ना नीचे आ गया ग्रेविटी से. दिस इज एन एजिंग प्रॉब्लम व्हिच इज यूनिक टू इंडियन सबकॉन्टिनेंट.
अच्छा. हाँ ये बात तो आप सही कह रहे हो. माय मॉम इज 50+ बट उनके रिंकल्स नहीं है ज्यादा.
Wrinkles नहीं है.
स्किन उनकी सैग हो गई.
In European countries it's different. They don't have sagging, they have wrinkles. And the thing with sagging is once you have sagging or you start having sagging, then the only option that is left with you is in clinic skin tightening.
Acha.
And these days we have wonderful machines to go for skin tightening. We also have some thread lifts available these days. They are basically surgical threads which we place beneath the skin and the skin gets tightened. The key again here is to start early.
Sounds so scary.
No, it does sound scary. It looks scary when you will see videos at the internet, but the results are very nice. But हाँ, अगर किसी को prevent ही करना है तो पहली बात तो if you are trying to phone से laptop पे switch कर जाओ. अच्छा. सारा दिन phone में झुक के मत देखो. If you have to look at your phone तो phone को थोड़ा सा raise कर लो. Try to bring it at your shoulder level. Okay. उससे ना दोनों चीजें होंगी, सैगिंग भी कम होगा, आपका नेक पेन भी कम हो जाएगा. बोथ द थिंग्स. एंड आप आधे घंटे से ज्यादा उसको उस पोजीशन में यूज नहीं कर सकते. हाँ ये तो है. सो एनी हाउ यू विल कीप इट असाइड एंड टेक अ ब्रेक. एंड एक और बहुत अच्छी चीज है which everyone can incorporate in their skincare for sagging neck. That is a lymphatic drainage massage for face. एंड उसका ना एक बहुत ही ब्रीफ वर्जन होता है, यू कैन डू इट फॉर जस्ट 5 minutes.
अच्छा.
And I'll be sharing that on my Instagram soon, how to do a lymphatic massage for
Uh-huh.
face and neck.
Okay.
All that you need is 5 to 10 minutes, 3 times a week. And you know, the neck sagging really, I mean, मैं ये तो नहीं कहती कि होगी नहीं. It's an inevitable part. Aging eventually होनी वाली है. We are trying to delay it.
Yes.
But if you do that, तो आपका some of the people also end up waking up with puffy faces. So this lymphatic drainage is something which helps both with puffy faces and sagging neck.
ओके. मतलब जब से आपने बोला है ना कि ऐसे नेक नीचे करके बैठने से नेक सैग होती है, आई एम लुकिंग स्ट्रेट ऑन द वॉल. मुझे लग रहा है यार नेक सैग हो रही है.
I've also started using my laptop more. जब से मैंने ये पढ़ा है, 2-3 months back, I read a research on this. So तब से मुझे भी ऐसे होता है, keep my phone at a distance, so that मैं पूरा झुक के नहीं देखूं. I don't know how much this thing is practicable in today's lifestyle, but
because my work is on the phone. Social media manager का काम है यार. I work for brands, I work for myself. तो वो यार phone पे ही रहना पड़ता है. So we have to follow
but
this as much as we can.
Try switching to laptop whenever you can.
Yes. Okay. और हाँ, एक पॉइंट आया था पिगमेंटेशन का. पिगमेंटेशन आई थिंक इंडियन स्किन में बहुत कॉमन है, स्पेशली जो डार्कर स्किन होती है उसमें मैंने बहुत ही कॉमन देखा है. जैसे मैंने आपको स्टार्टिंग में बताया कि मेरी स्किन है जो फोरहेड एंड अराउंड द माउथ डार्क है. तो कैन वी प्रिवेंट इट, कैन वी रिवर्स इट?
Yes, we can reverse it to a very great extent. And unfortunately this is true. Indian skins are actually very prone to pigmentation compared to European and other skins. एक तो हमारे यहाँ पे ना weather conditions and sunlight is very harsh. We are more nearer to equator and we do not have much of sun protection वाला concept ही नहीं है lifestyle में, so because of that we are very prone. Then again I told you most of us women are vitamin D deficient. So जो eyes के around and जो around the corner of your lips जो pigmentation होती है, that has a lot to do with poor diet. अच्छा. Which again all us moms are very lenient about. We don't take care of our diets. Time मिला तो कुछ खा लिया, नहीं तो fruit बच्चों को खिला दिया, खुद भूल गए, something like that. So वो होता है, all of those things. Then again hormones, hormones are something आपने देखा होगा, pigmentation is more common in women than men. So जो patchy pigmentation है, because hormones also have a role to play. Pregnancy में हम लोगों को क्लोआज्मा हो जाता है, breastfeeding में हमारी pigmentation बढ़ जाती है. We also have a lot of body pigmentation when our skin is going through a crazy hormone time. So hormones play a lot of part in that. So अगर किसी को pigmentation है, the first thing they should do is they should be very particular about using a good sunscreen. They should never skip a sunscreen even if they are indoors. Sunscreen is something which has a huge role in preventing and even treating pigmentation. Because जो आपका existing pigmentation है, जितना UV ray exposure होगा उतना वो pigmentation dark होता जाएगा. जितना dark होता जाएगा, it becomes tough to eradicate it. So it's like things add up. So once you start using a sunscreen, it will fade. And then you can incorporate products like vitamin C, retinol, niacinamide. Now the thing with retinol is retinol is a wonder product. Retinol को use करना थोड़ा tricky है because it's irritating. So you have to step up. Like you start 2 days a week, then you go to 3 days a week. Then you sometimes, if you feel it's irritating, you mix it with a moisturizer and apply. So there are a lot of things on that. But retinol is something which will help you with both wrinkles and pigmentation.
All skin types?
Mostly oily and normal skins. Similarly, vitamin C for dry skins. So vitamin C is something that takes care of both pigmentation and wrinkles. So basically, retinol and vitamin C are two things which are really, kind of multi-purpose anti-aging product. So it's a good idea to incorporate a vitamin C or a retinol in your regime. And I have on my blog in which I've mentioned in detail about how I use retinol or how I recommend using vitamin C. It's given in all details. There are a lot of posts about that.
Okay.
And one thing about retinol is you shouldn't be using it when you are pregnant and when you are breastfeeding.
अच्छा.
And there's a thing, recently the brands have come up with bioretinol.
हाँ
They say कि हमारा रेटिनॉल प्लांट डिराइव्ड है,
हाँ
तो
हाँ.
हमारे रेटिनॉल को आप प्रेगनेंसी ब्रेस्ट फीडिंग में यूज कर सकते हो, बट नहीं कर सकते.
अच्छा. Yeah, why
बिकॉज
are they
अगर
playing
आप
with
रेटिनॉल को
our
यूज
health?
करते हो,
Mm-hmm.
बिकॉज आप रेटिनॉल को अगर प्रेगनेंसी में यूज कर सकते हो, यूज करते हो, तो आपके बच्चे को 25% चांसेस हैं कि उसके स्केलेटल एब्नॉर्मैलिटीज और उसको हेड एब्नॉर्मैलिटीज हो जाएंगी.
Oh God.
इट इज सो डेंजरस, सो इवन दो उन्होंने प्लांट से डिराइव किया है रेटिनॉल, बट एट द एंड ऑफ डे वो रेटिनॉल ही है.
Right.
वो बॉडी में जाके रेटिनॉल रिसेप्टर्स पे ही काम करने वाला है, कहीं और काम नहीं करेगा. So whether it's a bioretinol or a chemical based retinol, pregnancy, breastfeeding, no, you can't use it. Vitamin C is very safe in pregnancy and breastfeeding. In fact, even though I have an oily skin, during my pregnancy, I used vitamin C
अच्छा.
to prevent pigmentation. Again, glycolic acid is something जो आप pregnancy में भी use कर सकते हो, आप breastfeeding में भी use कर सकते हो, because it causes no harm.
Okay. Okay.
But there are products which help with pigmentation, provided you select them very well. The key here is selecting what you actually need and not overdoing it. लोग क्या करते हैं ना, AHA serum use करते हैं 7 days a week. AHA serum you don't have to use for more than 3 days a week.
अच्छा.
Otherwise आपका pigmentation worsen हो जाएगा, आपकी skin over sensitized हो जाएगी.
ओहो.
So right amount, right product for right skin for a right duration. All these things are important. But yes, if you are using right products, pigmentation is very well manageable with skincare, and whatever remains after using skincare, these days we have Q-switch lasers, we have peels which are not very costly and which work beautifully for pigmentation.
Okay. और ये
stubborn pigmentation को भी आप treat कर सकते हो.
अच्छा. और रेटिनॉल है या विटामिन सी है, ये आप कोई ब्रांड रेकमेंड करोगे इनका?
See, if you're for retinol, my favorite brand is Rock. So it comes by then I've featured it on my feed also. So Rock anti-wrinkle concentrate is something which gives beautiful results. Again, there is Neutrogena rapid wrinkle repair, that is also retinol based. So if you don't get Rock, because Rock की availability थोड़ी limited है in India, because it's kind of imported from outside. So Neutrogena rapid wrinkle repair is a very good retinol containing product. Then I think L'Oreal के Revita Lift में भी retinol है, but I've never used it personally.
ओके. एक इंग्रेडिएंट और है, फेरुलिक एसिड, जो आई थिंक लास्ट ईयर से आई हैव रेड अबाउट इट सो मच कि आई वाज वेरी टेम्प्टेड टू बाय इट, बट समहाउ आई प्रिवेंटेड माई सेल्फ. तो इसका क्या है?
So ferulic acid it is actually a very strong antioxidant. Vitamin C again is also a very strong antioxidant. So antioxidant का काम ये होता है, whenever our skin comes in contact with sunlight or any other skin damaging factor, हमारी skin में oxidative stress create होता है, free radicals बनते हैं. Antioxidants क्या करते हैं, उसको scavenge कर लेते हैं. They take care of that so that it doesn't end up damaging the skin cells.
Right.
That is how ferulic acid works. That is how vitamin C works.
Okay.
Now, ferulic acid की एक property है that it stabilizes and enhances the efficacy of vitamin C in its anti-aging action. So rather than using ferulic acid alone, एक तो we have very few products with ferulic acid. दूसरा फेरुलिक एसिड या तो रेस्वेराट्रोल के साथ होगा या किसी न किसी और चीज के साथ होगा.
ओके.
नाउ कॉम्बिनेशन ऑफ फेरुलिक एसिड विद विटामिन सी इज समथिंग दैट वर्क्स 3 times better than either of them alone.
Okay.
So whenever I prescribe a vitamin C serum, I usually recommend the ones which have ferulic acid in them. The thing is, ferulic acid की वजह से थोड़ा सा कॉस्ट इंक्रीज होता है, but efficacy भी बहुत improve होती है. So rather than using ferulic acid alone, I give ferulic acid with vitamin C, and together it's like 1 और 1 11.
Okay. Wow.
They work really well as compared to either of them
So
alone.
these are for dry skin.
And there's a very good these are for dry skin, and there's a very good preparation of ferulic and vitamin C. It
Mm-hmm.
comes by the name of VCX.
VCX.
So it has ferulic acid, it has vitamin C, and it also has, these three: vitamin E, vitamin C, and ferulic acid. It's by
Mm-hmm.
Cipla. It's available all over India in pharmacies.
Acha.
And if you would go and buy from a brand like Ordinary or any other brand,
Mm-hmm.
it's very difficult to source them in India.
Yes.
Compared to that, VCX is freely available, and it works as beautifully as any other high-end ferulic acid serum.
Okay.
But the caveat here is
Hmm.
only dry skins should be using it.
Right.
Dry or maybe normal skins with pigmentation.
Mm-hmm.
Oily skin people shouldn't be using it. For oily
Mhm.
skin people, it's better to use salicylic acid, niacinamide, or maybe glycolic acid, but not vitamin C. I do not recommend them that.
ओके मतलब इतने सारे एसिड हो गए इट गेट सो कंफ्यूजिंग
Acids की भी market है आजकल, it's
बहुत
like
ही ज्यादा हो गया है यस
every plant brand is selling acids these days. I mean, मेरे पास रोज अगर 10 queries आती हैं Instagram में, 10 में से 8 is about acids. And I keep on telling people that acids are not for everyone. You can do more harm than good. Be very careful with acids, because a skin which has been damaged by acids,
हाँ
it becomes sensitive, it becomes hyperpigmented, and then it's a pain to treat that skin type, because आप कुछ भी apply करो, that sensitivity will not let anything work for you. So for acid, I would really like to tell everyone that oily skins, they are better using BHA or niacinamide. Dry skins, they better use AHA or vitamin C. Whatever you are using, start slow. Use it for 2 to 3 times a week. See if your skin is tolerating them. And when you are using acid, never ever skip sunscreen.
ओके
Because what
नाइट
acids
में वी
are
कैन
doing
स्किप
is-
राइट इफ वी
Yeah,
आर
night
जस्ट
mein you
गोइंग टू
can
स्लीप
skip. So if you are using acid at night, using sunscreen for next 48 hours, so next morning and the morning
अच्छा
next to it. If you are using acids, even if you're using it 3 times a week,
हाँ
it makes your skin super sun sensitive. So you should be using your sunscreen 7 days a week.
यार आई रियली नीड टू स्टार्ट यूजिंग सनस्क्रीन अगेन
Yes, you should. Maitri,
हाँ
I know people who use sunscreens in their 20s. They didn't use anything else, but they were religious about the sunscreens.
हाँ
And when you see their skin in 30s, their skin is much better compared to a normal 30-year-old skin.
ओके
Even if someone is having acne, they are having oily skin, they say we don't like sunscreen. I tell them I have options for you. But do not miss on sunscreen if you are using any product which is taking care of your pigmentation. अगर आपको acne है, अगर आपको pigmentation है, अगर आपको aging से बचना है, I think हर किसी को इन तीनों में से कोई एक issue होता ही है.
राइट
So for all these 3 things, अगर आपको कुछ भी नहीं करना है ना, if you want a no nonsense guide, कि मुझे एक चीज बता दो जो करनी है, that one thing is sunscreen. You should never miss on sunscreen.
Oh God, I'm kicking myself right now.
It's so
I used to be religious about sunscreen. फिर मुझे लगा यार I am dark skinned, not very dark, but I think मुझे लगता था कि यार dark skin तो है ही, तो मेलानिन है तो it will prevent. और मैं घर पे ही रहती हूँ, कभी बाहर बहुत ही कम जाना होता है, तो I completely stopped using it.
बहुत से myths हैं सनस्क्रीन को लेके, जैसे कि डार्क स्किन टाइप्स डोंट नीड इट, क्लाउडी डेज पे सनस्क्रीन की जरूरत नहीं है, वी डोंट नीड सनस्क्रीन व्हेन इट्स इनडोर्स. Another myth is कि सनस्क्रीन लगाओगे तो विटामिन डी डेफिशिएंसी हो जाएगी. None of these is true. None of these is true.
Okay.
And for darker skin types, because we already have a lot of melanin. So हमारी फैक्ट्री में मेलानिन ज्यादा है, तो जैसे ही सनलाइट का ट्रिगर आएगा, वो मेलानिन और मेलानिन बनाएगा, वो मेलानिन ऊपर आ जाएगा,
हाँ तुरंत ऊपर आ जाता है. I get tanned very fast.
It will come up.
Yes.
You get tanned, है ना? So that melanin is protecting us from skin cancer. That's why आप देखो इंडिया में स्किन कैंसर और मेलानोमा के केसेस वेस्टर्न कंट्रीज से कम है, because melanin protects from skin cancer, but melanin will not protect you from aging and tanning.
Okay.
That's a different story.
All right, got it. Okay. And finally, we have one question about open pores and texture improvement for oily skin.
Because open pores बहुत ज़्यादा common है oily skin में, and one of the reasons that we have open pores on oily skin is कि we have a very hot and humid kind of climate in India. So क्या होता है, whenever there is heat, our body secretes more sweat and more oil. So धीरे 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 the pores keep on opening.
अच्छा.
And the second mistake that we do is for people with oily skins, they tend to wash their face 4 or 5 times a day, all the day. So what happens is, I always tell people कि जो हमें भगवान ने दिया है ना, उसके साथ चलने की कोशिश करो. You have been blessed with oily skin. आप अपनी skin को oil से strip नहीं कर सकते. If you try to do that, your real skin will kick in. It will say, अच्छा skin पे oil खत्म हो गया, चलो let's produce more.
It will produce more oil.
Let's produce more. Yes, and when that more oil gets produced, तो जो आपके pores हैं, they are going to open more. क्योंकि उनके अंदर और oil बन रहा है. The glands are lying there at the end of your pores. ठीक है? So one thing is they shouldn't overstrip. Maximum आप सुबह शाम 2 बार face wash कर लो. That's enough for oily skins. So that rebound oil production नहीं हो. आपके oil pores ज़्यादा बड़े नहीं दिखेंगे that way.
अच्छा.
Another thing is that for textural improvement, we can choose from 5 to 10% of niacinamide. अच्छा. 2% salicylic acid is a very good option. We can also use retinol. Retinol really helps with early open pores. So if you're using, somewhere between 0.2 to 0.8% of retinol, mostly creams में इतना ही होता है. अच्छा. या फिर इसका एक alternative होता है, which is a prescription grade retinoids, जो हम लोग as a dermat prescribe करते हैं. अच्छा. Sometimes for people जिनको बहुत oily skin होती है, we do a peel which is called yellow peel. Okay. It works beautifully on open pores. अगर आपको वो सब भी नहीं करना है, you say I want quick fixes. So we can do micro needling and fractional lasers. आजकल there's a type of botox that we do which is micro botox. तो बहुत ही minute amount of botox को हम super dilute करके skin की top layer में ना inject कर देते हैं छोटे छोटे micro injection से. And just one sitting and your pores will look at least 40-50% smaller. But इन सब चीजों के साथ साथ ना आपको होम केयर भी करनी पड़ेगी. You cannot skip the work that you have to do. Right. That is something जो चाहिए ही चाहिए.
Okay. तो हाँ, जैसे मार्केट में बहुत सारे ये टोनर्स आते हैं, ये कहते हैं कि it will shrink your pore or maybe shrink its appearance. तो is it true or is it just marketing gimmick?
So जो टोनर्स आते हैं ना, those toners they mostly have alcohol in them. Alcohol क्या करता है ना, alcohol will strip off oil. So temporarily आप जब तक उन टोनर्स को यूज करते रहोगे, आपको लगेगा हाँ मेरे पोर्स श्रिंक हो गए. अच्छा. ठीक है. So that way they will make them look smaller. They will not make them smaller. On the contrary, जो pore shrinking serums हैं, which contain niacinamide or which contain retinol, they will give you some long-lasting benefit. Achha. But most of the time, that long-lasting benefit is only till the time that you are using those products. Because आपके open pores क्यों हैं? Because आपकी skin oily है. Another thing is, some people they have a very, very junk kind of diet. They eat a lot of sugar. So sugar से क्या होता है ना, आपके pores के नीचे जो collagen होता है, that becomes glycated, that becomes degraded. तो आपकी body की जो capacity है आपके pores को tight रखने की, वो खत्म हो जाती है. So sugar is also one. Sugar, aerated drinks, a lot of caffeine. These are key things which will make your pores look bigger.
Okay, मतलब डॉक्टर अंकिता ने इतने पूरे इंटरव्यू में आपको ही बता दिया कि भैया शुगर जोड़ दो.
See, I also have a sweet tooth, and most of the time, it's very difficult to kick out your sweet tooth. I suffer that from myself, and I'm somebody whose acne gets aggravated with sugar. Achha. And I'm also somebody who tends to have a lot of sugar cravings in second half of my cycle. Achha. So that is like, I need to have sugar, but I know if I'll have sugar, I'll end up having acne. It's a battle that I also fight frequently.
और
But
मैंने
I
ये देखा
think
यार,
we can
अगर
be
आप अपनी
smarter
डाइट से ना
around it.
शुगर को कम कर दो तो धीरे धीरे आपकी क्रेविंग्स कम हो जाती है. मतलब आई
कम हो
यूज
जाती
टू
हैं.
बी क्रेजी अबाउट शुगर, बट लास्ट ईयर से मैंने धीरे धीरे कट करना शुरू किया है. एंड आई कैन फील द चेंज. अब मेरा मन नहीं होता हर वक्त कि यार अब खाना खा लिया, अब कुछ मीठा खाना है, अभी भूख लगी तो कुछ मीठा ही खाना है. ये चीज़ यार बहुत बहुत चेंज देखा है मैंने क्रेविंग्स में खुद अपने आप को
हाँ.
कंट्रोल करके.
In fact,
हाँ.
I talked to a nutritionist recently, and I
हाँ.
was talking to her about कि what actually sets in sugar cravings. So मैंने उनको ये बोला कि यार the days when I give in to my sugar cravings, when I have a chocolate or when I have a cake,
हाँ.
I like to have it more.
हाँ, वो अडिक्टिव हो
satisfy
जाता
क्यों
है.
नहीं होती है ना, sugar cravings satisfy क्यों नहीं होती.
हाँ.
तो she shared a paper with me, a research paper with me,
हाँ.
and इस पेपर में ये लिखा था कि when we eat sugar,
हम्म.
so there's a fungus that resides on our body and in our body.
अच्छा.
It goes by the name of Candida,
हाँ.
Candida albicans. तो वो हमारी बॉडी का एक नॉर्मल फंगस है.
Okay.
वो इंटेस्टाइन्स में भी होता है, वो हमारी स्किन पे भी होता है, वो सब जगह होता है.
हम्म.
So the sugar that we eat, that Candida uses it as substrate and it grows more.
Okay.
ठीक है.
हाँ.
Once the Candida population increases,
हाँ.
it needs more sugar. So it's
अच्छा.
like you're feeding sugar to the Candida is asking for more sugar, you're feeding it more, it's asking for more, and the cycle never stops. That's why the sugar cravings. And another thing is, Maitri, sugar has a lot to do with our ancient chakra system. जो हमारे 7 chakras होते हैं ना, you might have heard about them. The lowermost chakra, which is the root chakra, which is related to stability, उस चक्र का food होता है sugar.
अच्छा.
The sweet foods. So whenever we are feeling insecure, imbalanced, we are feeling fearful, or we are feeling unstable, sugar gives us a momentary stability.
हाँ, मतलब एक
है ना,
किक शुगर रश कहते हैं जिसको. जैसे
kick
अभी
sugar
क्वारंटाइन
rush
में ना
कहते हैं.
लोग कितना केक बना बना के खा रहे हैं. आई कीप आस्किंग यार मत खाओ.
Open Instagram and everybody is making cake and I'm like, you guys are behaving as if पहले तो you were daily going to a bakery.
Exactly. हाँ, तो हफ्ते में एक बार I eat junk अब, but I have really reduced it and I have seen the difference in my cravings, in my fitness. So I think yeah, sugar, yes, we should cut it down. Certainly.
Makes a huge amount of difference. And ना लोगों को ये भी लगता है हम sugar नहीं खाते, हम तो सिर्फ गुड़ खाते हैं. Guys, गुड़ is again sugar. Body में जाके ठीक है, it's not as bad as industrial grade sugar, but then it's again sugar.
Yes. Yes.
It's अगर आपने 4 चम्मच चीनी को 4 चम्मच गुड़ से replace कर दिया, you have just shifted to a healthier source of sugar, but you are still taking sugar.
हाँ, वो तो है यार. Cravings नहीं
And
खत्म कर सकता.
my husband is is a managing director in a sugar mill. So I'm really like I've done a thesis on sugar, how it's made, what chemicals do they add, and then while researching on adult acne, I've read so much about effect of sugar on insulin and acne. It's like I can write a thesis on sugar now.
Yeah, you should. Question मैं पूछना चाहूँगी. There are many एडवाइसेस हम सुनते रहते हैं स्किन केयर से रिलेटेड. उसमें से कोई ऐसी पॉपुलर एडवाइस जिससे आप डिसएग्री करते हो? मतलब लोग मानते हैं कि हाँ इट इज ट्रू बट यू नो दैट इट इज रॉन्ग.
I think the popular belief that homemade DIYs can give you a glowing, brightful, longer lasting skin. ऐसा नहीं है. I think the best homemade product that you can give to your skin is homemade good food. Put it in your tummy. That's where it's going to work better. Otherwise, when you open Instagram, you see all kind of crazy things. ये भी face पे लगा लो, tomato लगा लो, lemon लगा लो, camphor लगा लो. I these days see people, people crush a camphor tablet, they add it to their face mask, and then they put camphor on their face. Camphor, lemon, tomatoes are one of the most sensitizing agents. They can give you skin burns, they can give you skin sensitivity, which can take weeks to get better. और जितने भी ये लोग यार DIY bloggers हैं बहुत सारे, many of them are foreigners actually. Guys, they don't apply these skins to your face.
Mm-hmm.
I happened to visit a very leading dermatologist in Delhi few months back
Mm-hmm.
for some important thing.
Mm-hmm.
And there I saw a lady
Hmm.
who owns a very reputed brand of, energy and crystal infused natural organic skincare products.
Mm-hmm.
And there she was getting all kind of laser treatments done.
अच्छा.
So,
Irony.
I was like kind of shocked to see that lady over there because I'd been following her for 2 years.
अच्छा.
And the first thing I did was, I started unfollowing her. Because, I was like, okay, you don't follow what you preach. You don't tell your followers that your good skin is also due to those procedures. I'm not saying it's only because of those procedures,
Uh-huh.
but it's also because of those procedures.
Yes.
But you fool your followers into believing that
Yes.
मैं तो मोरिंगा लगाती हूँ, मैं saffron लगाती हूँ, मैं milk लगाती हूँ, that's why my skin is good. So, all those costly things, moringa, you really want to incorporate moringa, drink moringa every day, first thing in the morning.
अच्छा.
If you can. I tried doing that.
Hmm.
I couldn't bear the taste.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, moringa, wheatgrass, green tea, take them. They are very
अच्छा.
good for cleansing your system,
Uh-huh.
But if you feel कि हाँ, apply किया, हो गया, good, no, it's not going to take care of your skincare goals. वो सब चीजों को please खा लो. I mean, that's better usage of money rather than keep on slathering them on your face. You have a pinch of saffron with milk every day, your metabolism will thank you. You wouldn't need to put that costly saffron on your face.
अच्छा, लोग कहते हैं कि जो आप खा नहीं सकते उसको फेस पे मत लगाइए.
See, face के केस में ना, it's very tricky. आपकी बॉडी तो हैंडल कर जाती है. Like yesterday there was a patient who consulted me online, and the skin on her elbows and her knees had become red and burnt. I asked her आपने क्या लगाया था? She said कि मैंने नींबू and camphor mix करके लगाया था. So again, camphor आप खा नहीं सकते, आप लगा भी नहीं सकते.
Okay.
आप क्या लगा सकते हो आपके फेस पे? That is something. There's a whole science to it. The science of Ayurveda. But these days, authentic Ayurveda कहाँ बचा है? There are few centers, and for that also you need to consult. वो सबसे पहले आपको ये पूछेंगे कि आपका body type क्या है? आप पित्ता हो, वाता हो कि कफा हो? There's a lot of, like when I do a consultation, I ask about your age, your cycles, आपको thyroid है कि नहीं, आपको diabetes है कि नहीं, आपका lifestyle कैसा है, आप क्या खाते हो? There are a lot of factors which come into play before I give you something to apply. Like I always ask people कि आप breastfeed तो नहीं कर रहे हो, because otherwise मैं आपको retinol नहीं दे सकती. And that is something which I knew. You wouldn't be knowing. आप तो follow करके Instagram पे and you'll put camphor on your face because you really don't know what camphor can do to your skin.
Okay.
So सब कुछ face पे नहीं लगाना. A lot of people what they do is पपाया खाया, पपाया की स्किन को फेस पे रब कर लिया.
यार मेरे हस्बैंड से पूछो, वो जो खाते हैं वो मुंह पे लगा लेते हैं यार.
See, men have a very thick facial skin. Literally thick. 3 times thicker than women. They can do that. Their skin can, because यार वो लोग daily shave करते हैं ना, and their skin tolerates that. और हमारी skin तो यहाँ हल्का सा scratch लग जाए, we are not able to tolerate that.
Right.
So men are blessed with thicker skins.
Thick skin होना यहाँ पे blessing है.
Yeah, thick skin होना उनके लिए blessing है. That's why most of the things that we say it hardly reaches the core,
हाँ, ये भी ऐसा ही बात है. He will eat papaya, उसका जो peel होगा अपने face पे rub कर लेंगे.
Yeah, and हम लगाएंगे, we'll turn red. Our skins will turn red.
Okay.
With papaya skins.
Okay. So thank you so much अंकिता. मतलब मुझे बहुत मज़ा आया इतनी सारी बातें करके. इतना सारा ज्ञान मिला है ना स्किन केयर से रिलेटेड.
My pleasure, Maitri. Maitri, I really enjoyed talking to you. I mean, I really felt like, I'm talking to a long lost friend, and, it's like I'm bearing my heart about skincare without any, no bars hold kind of thing. So
No holds barred.
so much,
Yes. मुझे पता है कि लोगों को सुन के बहुत मज़ा आएगा, इसके बहुत सारा उन्हें नॉलेज मिलेगा. एंड अंकिता, अगर किसी को आपसे कनेक्ट होना हो तो हाउ कैन दे फाइंड यू?
Okay, so I have my blog and my website, which goes by the name of www.drrankitasangwan.com. It's very easy to remember. And I'm also there on Instagram. My handle is at derma_diaries and life. So I'm just a DM away on Instagram, or they can mail me also. Everything is there on my website. They can contact me anytime.
ओके ओके, सो हम लोगों ने बहुत सारी मिथ्स बस्ट करी इस एपिसोड में. हम लोगों ने नहीं, अंकिता ने बहुत सारी मिथ्स बस्ट करी हैं और बहुत सारी टिप्स दी हैं. तो प्लीज़ लिसन टू हर केयरफुली. और अब आपको समझ में अगर आ गया है कि यू हैव टू कंसल्ट एन एक्सपर्ट, और एटलीस्ट आपको क्या करना चाहिए, बेसिक ही क्या नहीं करना चाहिए, तो डेफिनेटली अंकिता को फॉलो कीजिए इंस्टाग्राम पे और अपनी स्किन का ध्यान रखिए. अगेन अंकिता, थैंक यू सो मच फॉर गिविंग योर टाइम.
Thank you so much. It's so nice to talk to you.
तो सर उठा के जियो, नहीं तो रिंकल्स आ जाएंगी. थैंक यू सो मच फॉर लिसनिंग. और अब आपको पता है कि यू हैव टू कट शुगर फ्रॉम योर डाइट एंड मोस्ट इम्पॉर्टेंटली स्पेंड वाइजली ऑन स्किन केयर. If you love this episode, subscribe, rate, and review us in your podcast app. You can connect with me on Instagram and Facebook at Little Fixes Podcast. Talk to you next Wednesday with something valuable again. Bye.